Joining me now is Senator Richard Blumenthal, who's a Democrat from Connecticut. He sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee and questioned Judge Jackson today. First, to start off, your impressions from today's hearing.
Probably the single most skillful, insightful, adroit, but very candid performance in a confirmation hearing that I've seen in my close to 12 years in the Senate. She dealt with those distorting and distracting questions with aplomb and grace, but at the same time, real insight. And she made her answers very accessible to everyday people in the way that she reduced a lot of complex and difficult abstractions to very simple, straightforward language in many of the answers that she gave.
Does it strike you as odd that the first black woman ever nominated to this position in this country's long history, to be a black woman on the Supreme Court, apparently has to go through a kind of process whereby she disowns or separates herself from some school of thought by other black writers, intellectuals, and thinkers? It was a very strange enterprise to watch today, I have to say.
She went through that gauntlet, which probably she fully expected. She was very well prepared for it. And she parried it and carried her arguments with tremendous skill. But I will say, Chris, she showed today that she's going to make the court look more like America, but also hopefully think more like America. And in her descriptions of some of the challenges and obstacles that she has overcome, she really gave an American story. And seeing her parents there, I will tell you, it was one of the most exciting and joyful moments of my time in Connecticut. And to see her husband and her family, but also see what they meant to her and how their support for her enabled her to overcome those obstacles. Today was nothing compared to what she has surmounted to be here today.
Do you see it as your role in your participation in these hearings? Let me ask you an open-ended question. What do you see as your role in your questions at these sorts of hearings? What is the job that you as a senator on this committee are doing in this setting?
What we're doing is really bringing forth who she is, so the American people can make judgments. It is probably the she'll have to everyday Americans, and it is a teaching moment. I went into how forced arbitration is closing courthouse doors by forcing people to go through a process dominated by corporations, whether it's credit cards or workplace violations. I went into some of the kinds of issues that will come before her in the court, not expecting that she would necessarily take a position like televising court hearings or having an ethics code, which the court lacks completely right now. Again, knowing she would say, I'll stay in my lane, but wanting to air those issues because they are very important to the future of our nation, and her insights on them could be important as well. And of course, kids' online safety, the threat on the internet to our children from some of the toxic content on bullying and eating disorders and other problems, also important because technology is one of the great issues bedeviling the court. It can't keep up with the technology. The statutes are behind the technology. So it's a teaching moment, but most of all, it's about her, not about us. And she has come through as a persona, really lighting up the courtroom with her down-to-earth but enormously powerful intellect and character, strength of integrity. So I think the nation had a chance to really see her in the flesh and in character.